Fortnite Battle Royale, released September 26, 2017. If you clicked on this video, I'm sure you have heard of it. Whether you're a new gen squeaker or a Season 1 OG, yeah! We all know Fortnite is dying, and that's why I'm making this video, to try to make Epic fix their game. Fortnite used to be the most revolutionary game. They were the ones to fully popularize Battle Royale, but recently they've been having trouble making breakthroughs in the Battle Royale and gaming industry overall. So here are 5 things I think Epic is doing wrong. Number 1, the art style. The company is so greedy. I believe they changed the art style just to be able to fit in more collab skins and items. But doing that, they drained the game of its life and its style. It was imperfect, but that's what we loved. The doors, the trees, the rocks, it went from being this cartoony battle royale to being like every other average game. By changing the art style, they made every gun look the same. Whether it was a shotgun or an AR, they all look the same. Do you remember when the pump and the tack were in the game? They look so much different from each other, and that was a good thing. If you mistake the pump for attack, you're gonna lose every time, because you have to play different with every gun you get. The loot pool used to look so distinct, but now they just reskin guns and call them something different. Number 2, the price of sidekicks and kicks. They are so overpriced. Charging 1800 V-Bucks for SpongeBob SquarePants is the most outrageous thing I've ever seen. 1800 V-Bucks equates to $16 USD. And for the whole bundle, it's 3000 V-Bucks. That's $26 USD for a pet that bugs you all game.
Hey buddy, you.
Even worse is kicks. They're 800 to 1000 V-Bucks, and you can barely see them. The problem isn't that they exist. It's that they are the same price as a skin. I shouldn't have to pay the same price for a skin for a pair of Crocs. They are a cool addition, they just cost way too much. I think this overcharging builds mistrust in us players because we shouldn't have to pay the same amount as a skin just for some shoes or a sidekick. This does not mean increase skin prices, it means lower shoe and sidekick prices. I know you guys really like your money, but please, for the betterment of the game, lower the prices. Number 3, skill-based matchmaking. Skill-based matchmaking is one of the biggest reasons Fortnite no longer feels fun to play. When Fortnite first released, every match felt unpredictable. You never knew who you were going to run into. One fight could be against a brand new player who barely knew how to build, and the next fight could be against someone far better than you.
What the fuck is that?
The randomness is what made every game feel exciting and unique. But now, that feeling is completely gone. With skill-based matchmaking, Fortnite places you into lobbies where everyone is almost exactly the same skill level as you. On paper, that sounds fair, but in practice, it really makes every single match feel identical. Every fight takes maximum effort. Every engagement feels stressful, and every mistake is punished immediately. There is no such thing as a casual Fortnite match anymore. If you're even slightly decent at the game, Fortnite turns it into a non-stop competition. You cannot even relax and play for fun. You can't experiment with new weapons or do goofy strategies with your friends. You're forced to play at your absolute best every single game just to survive. This is especially bad for longtime players. Players who have spent years improving at Fortnite are not rewarded for their skill. Instead, they're trapped. The better you get, the less fun the game becomes. Improving does not make the game easier or more enjoyable. It only makes your lobbies harder and more exhausting. That creates burnout. Fortnite used to feel like a game you could hop on after school or work and just enjoy. Now it feels like you're loading into a ranked match even when you are not playing ranked. There's no variety. Either you're fighting Peterbot or you're fighting actual bots. Skill-based matchmaking also hurts friend groups. If you play with friends of different skill levels, someone is always having a bad time. Either the lower skill level player gets destroyed and stops wanting to play, or the higher skill level players are forced to carry every game while sweating non-stop. Fortnite becomes frustrating instead of fun, and people slowly stop queuing together. And when people stop playing with their friends, they stopped playing the game entirely. Fortnite was never supposed to be perfectly balanced. That is what ranked modes are for. Public lobbies should be chaotic, unpredictable, and fun. They should reward improvement while still allowing moments of randomness and creativity. And skill-based matchmaking removes all of that. It turns Fortnite into a repetitive, stressful experience that feels more like a job than a game. And for a game that's built its legacy on fun, personality, and replayability, that's a massive problem.
No taper fate.
Number 4, bots. I understand why bots exist in Fortnite for newer or less experienced players. They make the game easier to get into and less intimidating. Landing, looting, and getting into early fights can be overwhelming, and bots help smooth out the learning curve. On their own, bots are not a bad idea. The issue is how often we encounter them. Bots are not limited to a beginner experience or an optional mode. They appear in almost every match, regardless of how long you've been playing or how skilled you are. Over time, that starts to feel repetitive and frustrating, especially for players who are looking for real competition. Fortnite is at its best when it's truly player versus player. Real players make unpredictable decisions, they rotate differently, take risks, make mistakes, and adapt mid-fight. That unpredictability is what creates tension and memorable fights. Bots remove that element entirely. Once we recognize a bot, the fight immediately feels different. There's no pressure, there's no uncertainty. The outcome feels decided before the fight even starts. Eliminations like that do not feel earned, and they do not add anything meaningful to the match. Bots also affect how matches flow. Early game fights often feel less important because many of them are against bots. Mid-game can feel quieter and less active, and then in-game suddenly becomes intense when only real players remain, and that uneven pacing makes matches feel inconsistent and less satisfying overall. There should be a clear choice. Players who want a more relaxed experience should be able to play with bots. People who want a fully PvP focused experience should be able to queue into matches without them. Right now, we do not have that option, and everyone is placed into the same system regardless of what they want from the game. Fortnite worked for years as a PvP game without bots and standard matches. Wins felt earned because every elimination came from a real fight. Bringing back a true PvP option will restore tension, improving pacing, and make matches feel meaningful again. Bots are useful as a learning tool, they just should not be a part of everything. Number 5. Too many options. One of the biggest changes to Fortnite is how spread out both the players and the game itself have become. When Fortnite first launched, there was one main experience. One map, one focus, everyone dropped into the same world, learned the same locations, and experienced updates together. Because all attention was on one mode, that experience felt polished and complete. Now everything is divided. Players are scattered across Battle Royale, Zero Build, Ranked, and UEFN maps. Instead of one strong core experience, Fortnite is split into dozens of smaller ones, each pulling players in a different direction. Lobbies rely more on bots, queue times increase, systems like skill-based matchmaking become more aggressive because there are fewer real players available at any given moment. At the same time, development focus is divided as well. Epic is no longer working on one main experience. They are maintaining countless modes, systems, and maps all at once. As a result, nothing feels fully finished, features are added, adjusted, and then quietly left behind. Instead of refining what already exists, the game moves on to the next area. This is why Fortnite often feels inconsistent. One mode might feel fun for a short time, while others feel unbalanced or incomplete. Updates fix one problem while creating others somewhere else. The game is consistently changing but rarely settling into something that feels perfect. Creative plays a big role in the shift. Some of the most played experiences in Fortnite are no longer made by Epic. In fact, one of the most played maps right now is still the Brain Rot, a creative map that has very little connection to what Fortnite originally was. It is a reflection of how unclear Fortnite's direction has become. When a non-Epic made creative map sits at the top of the player count, Battle Royale no longer feels like the center of the game. It just feels like another option. This is where the comparison to Roblox becomes unavoidable. Fortnite has shifted from a focused game into a platform filled with endless experiences. While that sounds appealing, it comes at a cost. Players are no longer sharing the same moments, the same discoveries, or the same map changes. We are all playing different versions of Fortnite. One person could be playing Steal a Brain Rot while the other one is playing Yacht Box PvP. The core experience feels unfinished, not because of the lack of effort, but because the effort is divided too many ways. Fortnite was at its peak when it focused on doing one thing extremely well. Bringing it back together and refining the core experience would make the game feel whole again, instead of consistently in progress. Sometimes fewer options creates a stronger game. What Fortnite's doing right? Even with its problems, Fortnite is still doing a lot right. The game receives consistent updates, live events, and new seasons more often than most games. That level of support keeps it relevant and shows long-term commitment. Fortnite also remains one of the most creative platforms in gaming. The tools available to creators are powerful, and the amount of content players can experience is unmatched. Finally, is it really dying? No. Well, at least not yet. Fortnite was never perfect, and it probably never will be. We've had our ups and downs, and this season has been rough. But if you have stuck around, it means you care, or at least you once did. Just because things haven't been great lately doesn't mean it's over. The game we love isn't gone. At least, not yet.